ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם שהכל נהיה בדברו. I am certain we already spoke about it in the past. Everybody knows about it. Almost everybody knows about it. Pharaoh, the king of Egypt, had a dream. He dreamed that out of the river Nile, 7 fat cows came out. But then 7 lean cows came out. And what happened? The lean cows ate the fat cows, and they remained lean as if before they had eaten. The astrologers, the magicians that Pharaoh had in his court could not interpret it. They understood there is something, but why would the lean cows remain lean after eating the fat cows? That's not normal. There's something wrong. And Pharaoh himself felt this is an important dream because the Nile is the source of all the richness, of the welfare in Egypt. Egypt had extraordinary agriculture. When there was famine in every place around Egypt, Egypt didn't suffer it. Why not? Because while other places depended upon rain, and when no rain came, that was the end of their agriculture. In Egypt, there was no problem because the waters of the river Nile were always sufficient to irrigate all their fields. So he felt this is a national message. There's something that is being told to me that has to do with the essence of Egypt because the Nile is the most important thing that Egypt has. Well, there was the cupbearer of the Pharaoh had been in jail for something he did, and he was pardoned. In jail, he met somebody, and he told Pharaoh there was a Hebrew boy, and this boy knew how to interpret my dream. I am sure he can do the same thing for you. Joseph was that Hebrew boy. He was taken out of jail, presented before Pharaoh after he washed up, and they made him look nice. And when he heard Pharaoh's dreams, he said, what God tells me, I'm going to tell you. The meaning is 7 fat cows mean 7 years of abundance. 7 lean cows, 7 years of hunger. And the fact that the lean cows ate the fat cows and remained lean means that the hunger is going to be so bad that you will forget about the good years and you will just starve. So therefore, Joseph said, what you have to do is, during the abundance, you must store stuff. You must store food stuff, so that when the lean years come, you will be able to give it out to other people. Well, Pharaoh liked the interpretation. He was made second in command in order to deal with the entire situation. There are several facts that are interesting that we should delve upon. First of all, let's take a look. Out of the Nile, which is the source of the richness of the wealth of Egypt, come 7 fat cows. That makes sense. But why do these cows come out, the 7 lean ones, also from the Nile? Maybe what the Torah is trying to tell us is that the same source of abundance can also be a source of want. That richness and poverty maybe have something in common. You have to be careful. Don't think that everything that you have that is good is only good. You know, the media is terrific. Internet, wonderful, creation. You go and ask any kind of question that you want, your computer, and your computer will answer you immediately. They know everything. But at the same time, the internet can bring false notices, false news, fake news. It can also disseminate hate. It can do many things that are wrong. In other words, the same source that brings us comfort and wealth at the same time can do something wrong. The same thing happens with drugs. Some are very good. They help you with your liver functions, but at the same time, maybe they spoil something else. So maybe this is one of the messages that the Torah is trying to tell us. Out of the same source of wealth, which was the Nile, you could have good things, you could have bad things happening as well. Here's something else. You know, cows are not carnivorous. They don't eat meat. Cows eat grass. They eat grains. How come the lean cows ate the fat cows? Well, maybe it's trying to tell us when problems appear, people start behaving in a different way. Normally, they wouldn't do certain things, but when their life depends upon sustenance, they will do almost anything in order to survive. And you find this in many different localities where either government-induced or for other reasons, there is lack of food and people will resort to all sorts of crimes that they wouldn't commit otherwise. So in essence, really, the story of the 7 fat cows and 7 lean cows is not only a story about Egypt, it's a story about human behavior. It's a story about the fact that the same source for good can also bring about destruction. We all know about nuclear power, how it can solve many of our energy problems, but at the same time can also bring about destruction of the world. So we have to be very careful in how we use all these media instruments that we have today and make sure that we use them for the good and the progress of society.